good Tuesday morning. Let's get the screen pulled up here. So, Tuesday morning golf and God. Well, I don't know, man. I shot like 14 over today, so not the best, not the worst, but not the best. Anyways, hope everybody's having a good Tuesday. Dally, Brenda, how y'all doing? Thanks for joining us. Let me get things tied over to the other social media networks real quick. Number one, utmost important is thanks for joining me. It's good to see you guys on here. Hit the share button. I talk about it a lot, but there's a lot of people who won't walk in the door of a church, but they will click on a live room. So definitely keep sharing Golf and God episodes for us. Really appreciate that. Got to give a shout out to just a number of you guys for stepping up on our post yesterday about bribing children and senior citizens that are, kids. The orphan program that we work with is always in need, and there's a lot of seniors who are not, they're just, COVID is what COVID is, and they're super scared to be out, and that's understandable, and I think it's important that we encourage them and do that. So, as well as I do, Golf and God is about it's about my daily struggles, my weekly struggles, and how that reflects. And I'm just gonna. I was honest with people last week, and I'm gonna be honest with you this week. I'm gonna try to always be honest with you, but last week was not a good week for me. I really struggled, and really for the not the first time, but for the first time in a long time, I really struggled with depression last week, and it was like, I'm not talking like suicidal depression. I'm talking more kind of just like everything in my life is good, but at the moment I didn't feel like it. I was sitting there Friday or Thursday, I believe it was, and I'm like, what is wrong? Like, just something wasn't right. Um, there's no reason for me to be depressed. I'm alive, and I should have been dead 4 or 5 months ago. But the wisdom of God was inside of me and said, "Hey, your appendix is about to rupture. Get to the hospital." And then come to find out there was a tumor in my appendix, and that cancer would have spread through my body. And so even going through my lists of grateful things that I should be, things that I should be grateful of, I was still really struggling with depression. And some of it is this COVID stuff. As a musician who really, like, I really enjoy performing. I like writing songs, and I like singing and playing, but I like being with y'all. I like entertaining. I was born to be an entertainer. At the age of, my parents will tell you that. From 2 days old, I was born to entertain, and it's what I do. It's what I enjoy, and I'm limited on what I can do right now during COVID. And I think that's a significant part of where I was at with going through those depression moments. But here's the difference: whether you're struggling with depression or finance problems, you lost your job and you're having a tough time paying bills, um, or um, whatever that struggle is, if you're always in it, if you're always there, that's a major problem. If you're always depressed, that's a major problem. If you're always asking people for money, that's a major problem. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about those times in your life where it doesn't last. You're there for a while, and it's wearing you down, and you're like, what the heck is going on here? And just this week in church, Pastor Andy was talking about um, helping our brothers and sisters, and it was just really important for me last week to just finally say to people, hey, I'm struggling. Now, here's the key: you have to follow that up. You can't limit God. And so last week I was really careful to do that. I'm struggling, but I'm sure it's going to be okay. God never promises us a straight path. Life isn't like that. Life is ups and downs, peaks and valleys. And I'm telling you what, if life was just straight through, it wouldn't be any fun. It really wouldn't. It wouldn't be any fun at all. It'd be boring. But when life, even Psalms 23rd, it talks about walking through the valley of the shadow of death. It's a valley. You come out of it. You know what I mean? And so that's what we're talking about. We're talking about times in your life where things are just not right. They're not. They're not right. And so what do you do? What do you do? Well, here's simply what you do, and this is exactly what I did. You start asking people for help, and you have to swallow a little bit of pride, and you have to just have a little bit of humility and realize that life is not always going to be good for you. And I know you saw my post earlier this week that talked about when you're in need, take, ask, and when you're in plenty, give. And it's really that second part, that giving part. We all, as Christians, we all want to, we all know we should give, but it's that taking part that sometimes is so hard for people. And you have to be so here you go. When we're in need, we take. Who do you take from? The Bible clearly tells us in Thessalonians and all throughout the New Testament. Paul clearly tells us you take from your brothers and sisters in Christ. And why is that important? Well, because um, when you take whatever it is, if you need wisdom, if you need money, if you need support, it's really really important who you get that support from. And if they're rooted deep in Christ, then it's going to be good wisdom. It's going to be good money. You start borrowing money from the wrong people, they're going to come looking for you. You start taking advice from the wrong people, they're going to take you to the bar and get you drunk so you forget your problems that night instead of helping you work through this. And it's just really, really important. Number one, that you go to people who are wise and who are just like you, brothers and sisters in Christ. Leviticus 25:35 says, "If your brother becomes poor and cannot maintain himself with you, you should support him." And like, how are you going to know if your brother is poor and can't maintain himself? Sometimes it's so bad that you can recognize it, but other times it's not. Like, they're going to have to ask for help, and that part of humility of just saying, um, I'm in need. That's important. That's important. Now, again, if you're always saying you're in need, if you're always saying, and there may be something deeper here that we got to get a hold of, and but I'm talking about those moments. I'm just talking about those moments where life is a struggle and it wasn't a struggle before, and you're like, okay, something's not right, and just swallowing a little bit of pride and saying, and I had to do that. I had to do that last week. I had to be careful who I told. When some people messaged me and texted me, I just told them, hey, this is not a good week. I'll have to get back to you next week. If they were close friends, hey, I'm struggling this week. This is what's going on, and I don't know why. Pray for me. Um, it's like I called my brother and I said, hey man, we haven't ridden horses in years. Come ride with me. He wanted to know what I wanted for my birthday. He wanted to take me out to supper, which he did last night anyway. But Sunday night I was like, hey man, come ride horses with me. So it's important to be careful who you tell that you need something. You got to be able to trust them. But the deeper and the closer they are of a relationship to you, the more that you can tell them. And but don't be shy. Like you meet somebody on the street, or we'll be at a show. Hey Jake, how you doing? Oh, I'm good. I'm good. You say that to be polite. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Just be honest. Hey Jake, how you doing? Hey man, it's a rough week, but I'm sure next week will be better. You always put that positive spin at the end. It's okay to say, hey, I'm in this place today. And I said it a lot last week. I really, really did. But I tried to be careful who I said it to and how I said it. And that helped. And then, yesterday, I'm back. I'm back. I'm ready to help people again. But for a few days, I needed the help. And that's super important. I'll share one more passage with you, and I want you to think about it here. Matthew 25:35. For I was hungry and you gave me food. I was thirsty and you gave me drink. These are the words of Jesus. I was a stranger and you welcomed me in. Um, People recognized when Jesus needed help. He didn't necessarily have to ask it, but he asked his Father for help a lot. Someone who was close to him as it goes through there. So just a little bit of wisdom and things that I experienced this week, and we'll see how the week goes. But just don't be afraid to ask for help. And if things are good in your life right now, offer help. Like volunteer it, throw it out there. People in your life who need it, they'll seek you out. So, anyways, hope my experiences help you all. Don't forget to hit the share button, and let's keep spreading the word here. And I don't know, shout out to my golf lovers. Tuesdays is always a good day. You guys have a good one.